Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. Today is Monday, June the 20th. Just going to put the disclaimers up there on the top left hand side. So please read them, even if you need to pause the video to do so. Now, the 3D market commentary is a video that we do every day, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or not 9 to 5, Monday to Friday during market hours, where we are going through major world markets, looking at 3 different elements per market, hence 3D market commentary. Now, if you would like to get the email that we go through, which is what this is based on, then you can just go to tradewithufos.com/newsflash, and you will find the way that you need to do it from there in order to get access to this email that I'm about to go through. So you've also got my link here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. You've got my email address there as well. So these are different places that you can go if you need help or support. Now, let me just show you what the tradewithufos.com/Becky looks like. This is the link, or this is the page that the link takes you to. And from here, you can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like to with me. You can check out apps and different courses and different coaching at the top, our live trading sessions, your login area and things like that. If you scroll down, you'll be able to follow the trades that I place in my live sessions and track them with me here and check in on them. If you scroll down a bit, you get some extra information here about apps for monthly and yearly use, for Predictive Options Planner, which is our platform, monthly and yearly use. And if you scroll down a bit further, there is a question and answer section. So loads of questions and answers are in here. Probably the question you have has already been asked and the answer is already here for you. If not, you just need to post a new question and we will answer it within a day or two. Okay, so now let's go to what our newsflash is about. So let's just load that there. Brilliant. So let's start here with the S&P 500, as I just explained very quickly what it is that we are going through. So we have our 3D market commentary looking at 5 major world markets, 3 elements per each, hence our 3D or 3D approach. For each of the markets, we'll be looking at these 3 things. So first one is market climate, which is essentially where is that market likely to move? Up, down, or nowhere? We use an app called AutoClimate, which is this one here. AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms that you can get it on. And what AutoClimate does is tells us where the probabilities lie. And I'll show you how that works as we look through it coming up into the different markets. Then we have buy and sell UFOs. UFO in this case stands for unfilled orders. And what it means is, where do we have buyers waiting to buy that could push price upwards? And where do we have sellers waiting to sell that could push price downwards? So we use another app called Auto UFOs in this case that shows us with this color here where the buyers are. It's a little green color. And with the red ones shows us where the sellers are. So we'll look at that per market as well. And then we'll look at market volatility, which is essentially how quickly we expect the markets to move. So we will look at each of those elements per market, starting with the S&P 500, which is what we have here. Now, just to highlight here, it says at the bottom, I think it might be covered up actually. So let me put this up here. Different courses that we offer in futures, stocks, Forex, backtesting, trading plans, and psychology. If you go to this link here, tradewithufos.com/courses, you can then check out the different courses that we do, see what might be easier for you or what might help you most. Now, most of the courses also come with a 3-month complimentary access to our apps, but I'll explain that in a minute. So coming back to the S&P 500, we have a thick red dot on the AutoClimate app. Ignore the lines, focus on the dots. A thick red dot, if we space that out a little bit, make it a bit easier to see. Thick red dot tells us probability downwards. That's what we see here. Now, we are overextended to the downside, meaning we've been going down longer than we usually would, but we do still have probability down. We also have sellers right very near us, just on top of us there. Those sellers are between 38.43 to 37.08.5. So we've got sellers just above us and probability down coming from the climate. And we don't have buyers until we hit this stack of buyers at 34.80 to 33.19. So we're looking at a daily chart, and for each of the markets, we will be looking at a daily chart. So we'll see, of course, different things on different time frames, but we'll be looking at a daily time frame. So as far as a daily time frame for the S&P 500, overall probability down coming from the climate, with sellers close by, buyers a little way away from us for now. In terms of volatility, we would expect that in 1 year, the S&P 500, top 500 US stocks, would move up or down by 31.39%. So in a day, that's up or down of 73.18 points. In a week, up or down of 161.09 points. And in a month, up or down of 335.34 points. So that's the S&P 500. So moving on to the next market, which is crude oil. So let's load this and squidge it so we can see everything that we need to see here. Now, as I said, each of our courses, you'll see it up there now, or most of our courses, come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps that we use. Now, AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms. You can use it on anyway. Auto UFOs is a paid-for app. Depends on which platform you use as to how much it costs. Now, you can just go straight to this link, which is tradewithufos.com/apps, and you can just go and download those apps depending on which platform you use and start using them. You don't have to do a course in order to use them. You can subscribe directly. Now, most of the time, it works out cheaper to get a course and get the 3-month complimentary access to the apps than it would be to simply just use the apps. So check that out and see what works best for you. So coming back to crude oil, we have a thick red dot. So same thing as we saw before, probability to the downside. That's what a thick red dot tells us. We also have sellers close by again. They are between 116.58 to 110.43. So again, sellers nearby with probability down from the climate. We've also got quite a way to go before we hit buyers, between 80.47 to 77.83. Overall, probability down here on a daily chart of crude oil. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 49.19%. In a day, that's 3.34 points up or down. In a week, 7.36 points. And in a month, 15.32 points. Again, either up or down is that movement. So that's crude oil. Now moving on here to the next market, which is gold. Let's load this here and squish it. So we need to see what we see. There we go. Brilliant. So just to highlight as well, if you're looking to join us on coaching sessions where you can watch us trade these markets, you can watch us analyze these markets and explain it all in a bit more depth. If you go to this link, which is tradewithufos.com/coaching, you'll find different options there. Now, we do a lot for free. We do have a lot of sessions that are on YouTube or in different places that are for free. But the coaching, or the all asset advanced coaching, gives you access to more resources and live trading videos. So check out what might be best for you. So coming back to gold, we have a thin dot, slightly hard to see, but I guess that's the point. It's a thin dot, doesn't matter the color. If it's a thin dot, that tells us that there is not enough probability in either direction, so we do nothing. No point trading if we don't have clear probabilities one way or the other. Now, we do have buyers here between 1781.3 to 1753, and we have sellers up here between 2003 and 1962.7. We're not very close to either of them. Unlikely that we would hit either stacks of buyers or sellers today. So overall, nothing to do here. Not close to buyers or sellers that could move us that we can see today, and not a confirmed climate. So no probabilities in one direction or the other. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect movement in a year up or down of 20.28%. So in a day, that's 23.51 points. In a week, 51.76 points. And in a month, 107.75 points, either up or down. So the next market, let's scroll down here, is the US dollar. So let's load this up. There we go, lovely, loading. And we'll squish it down so we can see what we need to see here. Now, just to highlight, another link to show you, our Linktree link, which is there on the screen. You can follow us on social media to follow those free sessions and little tips that we put out and things like that. So go to our Linktree and you'll see loads of different places that you can go. Again, resources and help and support, most of which is for free. And you can check out those other links that we've seen before for extra support, extra help, and for the apps that we use. So coming back to the US dollar, we have a thick blue dot on the auto climate. Thick blue dot means probability upwards. However, we do have sellers literally almost exactly where we are right now, like just above us. They've pushed price down actually very recently. They are between 105.565 to 104.425. And we don't have buyers until we get down here at 102.85 to 101.865. So what we have at the moment is from the climate, probability being pushed upwards, but from the sellers above us, pushing downwards. So we've got a fight going on. Who will win? No one knows. I prefer to keep out of these things. It would be a gamble or a guess to try and pick which one is going to have more buyers or more sellers, who's going to win. Best to keep out, let it confirm itself one way or the other, and then we know what we're doing. That would be what I would do. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect movement up or down in 1 year on the US dollar of 10.53%. In a day, that's 0.69 points. In a week, 1.52 points. And in a month, 3.17 points, either up or down. So let's now look at the last market, which is bakkt Bitcoin, just to see that there. And load this. I'm going to squidge it down again so we see what we need to see. In fact, very close to each other, so we don't need to squidge it too much. So with bakkt Bitcoin, we have a thick red dot, probability down. We also have sellers very close above us, between 22,917.5 to 20,120. But we do have buyers very, very close as well. They are between 19,612.5 to 17,610. So again, what we have slightly more probability to the downside because we have sellers that we are within right now, and we have the climate pushing down. So that's 2 points to the downside, if you want to see it that way. But we do have buyers that could get in the way. So we've got 2 points to the downside, 1 to the upside. To me, that's not a big enough probability win. I would keep out of it. But as with all of these things, we are showing you how we use the apps, how you might interpret them. It's ultimately up to you to decide where your risk tolerance lies, what your trade plan is, and what you do, how you act on it. For me personally, there's not enough points going in the same direction, so I personally wouldn't get involved in that one. So when it comes to volatility on Bitcoin, we would expect movement up or down in 1 year of 113.92%. In a day, that's up or down of 1,470 points, more or less. In a week is 3,000, let's highlight that there, 3,238 points, more or less. And in a month, 6,740 points, more or less. Again, that's movement up or down. So for each of our markets now, we've come to the end of our markets, and for each of them, we've looked at market climate, which is using this app down here, the Auto Climate app, to figure out where the probabilities lie overall, up, down, or nowhere. We've then looked at buy and sell UFOs, seeing where we have buyers that could push price up and where we have sellers that could push price down on a chart. And then we've looked at market volatility, which is how far we expect each of those markets to move within given periods of time. Now, the last thing to be aware of is the weekly economic calendar. We get this from fxstreet.com. We filter by high impact news because we want to know which scheduled news reports might increase volatility in the markets that we trade. So today we have news coming out very soon that could affect the Euro or European markets. And later on this evening, 8 p.m. Eastern time and 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, we have news coming out that could affect the Australian dollar or Australian markets. So be aware of that if you trade in those countries. So that's the end of our session today. Just a reminder of where you can go if you need help and support. You have tradewithufos.com/Becky, where if you come to this link, you can book one-on-one coaching if you'd like. You can look into group coaching, courses, apps. If you scroll down, you'll be able to track the trades that I place in my live sessions that I do. You can see more about our apps and platforms. And there's a question and answer section at the bottom as well. So lots of help and support and resources from this place. You can also email me if you need. So I will be back on Thursday. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great week ahead, great trading week ahead, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.